Good afternoon. I am pleased to convene the Senate Subcommittee on Surface Transportation and Merchant Marine Infrastructure, Safety and Security. Our hearing today, titled Rebuilding Infrastructure in America's State and Local Transportation Needs, will give us the opportunity to better understand the state of our surface transportation infrastructure. Many of us hear from our constituents about the poor state of infrastructure in the United States. Their concerns have been confirmed by numerous studies, including the often cited infrastructure report card from the American Society of Civil Engineers, which gave us U.S. infrastructure a D+ in 2017. Research by the American Transportation Research Institute shows that congestion on our roads costs the trucking industry $63.5 billion in 2015. More broadly, a recent Wall Street Journal article reported that traffic congestion can cost an American family about $1,400 each year. The federal government plays an important role in developing and maintaining a continuous transportation system across the country, which has become the artery of commerce for the United States. However, the system would not work without state and local governments, which do the majority of the work to design, construct, and maintain our infrastructure. The administration's recent infrastructure proposal includes a number of important ideas to improve our infrastructure. I'm particularly pleased to see proposals to reform project permitting and streamline what is frequently a burdensome process for state and local governments. According to the Congressional Research Service, major federal highway projects can take as long as 14 years from start to finish. It took less time to build the Panama Canal, and we did that more than a century ago. Duplicative regulations and red tape increase the time it takes to build infrastructure projects, and time is money. The costs associated with delays weigh heavily on taxpayer resources, frequently with few benefits to show for it. By reducing unnecessary regulations, the administration's proposal would speed up the process for project approval and construction. Several provisions of the proposal recognize that states and localities know the needs of their constituents best, and that they should be given greater authority over the design, approval, and construction of projects. I was also pleased to see dedicated funding for rural infrastructure. For products made in rural states like Nebraska to make it to markets around the world, we have to ensure our transportation systems all across the country are in good condition. Dedicated funding supports these systems, which means Nebraskans and the products we make can make it to where they need to go. Now that the administration has put forward a proposal, it's time for Congress to put pen to paper. I look forward to working with my colleagues, the administration, and all stakeholders and users of our infrastructure system to craft legislation that brings our infrastructure into the 21st century. As we know, there are a lot of ideas out there to address the revenue issue that is surrounding transportation infrastructure investment. Last year, I put forward a proposal that aims to address the funding shortfall and modernize our infrastructure system. My Build USA Infrastructure Act would ensure the solvency of the Highway Trust Fund for 5 years following the expiration of the FAST Act. By dedicating revenue collected by Customs and Border Patrol through duties, tariffs, and other user fees, my bill utilizes existing funding to support our infrastructure. Additionally, states would have more flexibility in the approval of infrastructure projects. Under my proposal, states could enter into remittance agreements with the Federal Highway Administration, whereby they would remit 10% of the federal aid highway dollars in exchange for state purview of design, permitting, and construction of federal aid highway projects. By using the resources that are currently available more efficiently, we can stretch our current federal aid dollars to improve and expand our infrastructure system. We have several witnesses before the committee today that can speak directly to the needs of states and localities. They represent both those who build our infrastructure and those who rely on its proper maintenance. I'm pleased that the director of the Nebraska Department of Transportation, Kyle Schneeweiss, is here to provide insight on Nebraska's innovative work in transportation policy. I have to cough because Nebraska always had a Nebraska Department of Roads. I look forward to the testimony of our witnesses, and I would now like to invite my colleague, Senator Peters, to offer his opening remarks. Senator Peters.